So we are here with Nicolas Dayot, President of FNHPA, I did it, at the SETT in Montpellier. So, Monsieur Dayot, this is your third term at the head of NHPA. Could you share your plans and strategies to face the challenging in the camping sector?
Yes, the first challenge is to stop the reduction of pitches of campsite and campsites, because during the last 20 years, 1,500 campsites in France disappeared. And the first objective of our federation is to stop the reduction of campsites and pitches first. And the second one is to create the best rules to make campsite success, to change the accommodation, to create new swimming pool, to transform the campsites. And also, since 5 years, the new objective is to communicate about the different jobs of the campsite in France, because it's difficult now to find new employees to work in a campsite in France and anywhere in Europe, I think.
We know that problem. So, talking about the loss of almost 80,000 tourist pitches between 2020 and 2023 is a significant concern. How does the Federation plan to fight in concrete this trend?
Yes. Two types of campsites disappeared. The public ones and the very small campsites, under 50 places, under 50 pitches. For the first one, we make a guide during the last year to the villages, the owners of the public campsite, to transform the campsite and to find a new manager, a private manager for those campsites. And also for the very small campsites, the strategy is different, because during the next year, in January, we will present a new plan to transform the very small campsite for glamping and atypical accommodation for new customers, especially from the big cities. We like a new experience around the cities and in the middle of France, not near the sea, but in the green department of France.
So, but this loss is because campers, like happened in Italy, they prefer to go for free or in the parking area, not paying. This is the reason why. Do you lose also the clients, or there's other reasons?
Also, but the first reason is those campsites are quite the same, are in the same situation than 30 or 40 years ago. And the successful campsites today are very different than the 70s or the 80s, because you have new accommodation, new entertainment, restaurants, new accommodation, and the public campsites and the very small campsites are like during the 70s or the 60s. Those campsites are quite the same and need to reviving, need to operate a revolution. And we need to support the new managers to explain the good strategy and to give them the good information.
And this is what you are doing to support this campsite in concrete. So.
Yes, to find new managers and to support also the mayors of the village, of the villages, because those mayors are the owners of the public campsites. And we have to explain, we have to support.
which is the public campsites as a model for the whole Europe. In Italy, we also look at this kind of campsite really, really careful. It's a very interesting and smart accommodation.
But you have two types. You have the public campsite with a very good situation near the sea, near the lakes, near the very touristic areas. We don't have to do anything for them. We have to do something for the public campsite with a more difficult situation, only for them.
Okay. The Federation recognizes the need for investment in ecological transition and the improvement of services. Could you tell us which initiative and investment are you planning for the next year?
Yes, a lot of initiative because we need to transform the French campsites, like all the campsites in Europe, of course. It is the same in France and in the other countries. First, we are experimenting now a new system to reduce the waste first. Also to reduce the water consuming, and also to work about biodiversity, to explain to the people, to the manager of the campsite, and also to the customers, because it's very important in a natural area to speak about biodiversity. And we have also to build a strategy about the electrification of the vehicle fleet, because during the next 15 years, a lot of customers will come with an electric car, and we need to create electric station in campsite, and it's very difficult. It's very complicated when you are not near a city, because of the cable of the electric cable especially. And also we need to work about the solar panels in the campsite to produce electricity, of course, but also to make warm water for the pool. And we have to put new panels on the roof of the building in the campsite. And it's not easy because a lot of campsites are in protected areas, and sometimes it's not possible because of the rules, of the administrative rules, to install those panels. And we have to work with the government to change the law, to change the rules, and it's very important for the next 10 years.
Okay, in a recent interview, you mentioned that the 2023 camping season foresees slightly higher attendance compared to 2022, with contribution from foreign tourists. Is this what happened? And what are the factors that led to increase the foreign visitors?
It's a good question, but I don't know exactly the reason. Yes, this season was better than the last one in 2022.
Which was also a good season, right?
Yes, of course. The record, the best one, because last year we realized 136 million nights, and I think for 2023 it's about 140 nights, 140 million nights. It's a good season. With a lot of people from the European countries around France. It was more difficult with the French people because of the inflation. Inflation was a problem for the revenues of the campsite and also for the cost. It's not exactly the same. I think because of the climate changing, And also because the French campsites are, I think, better now than 5 or 10 years before, because we have more accommodation, we realize a lot of investment in campsites, and I think the French campsites are better, and the people from the Netherlands, from Germany, from Belgium stay in our country, like to stay also in Italy, of course, because the Italian campsites are very good too, especially in Venezia, in the north, but in other regions. But I think because of the increasement of accommodation in the French campsite, it's more easier for us to convince the European to come for holidays in France.
The challenge right now is to make a good promotion to the campsite sector, making people understand that this is not like was in the past a poor kind of holiday. So this is what also you are trying to push, to make people understand that they can really have a very high quality experience in this campsite, which are growing in quality and in services.
Yes, of course. The National Federation has to communicate on TV, on radio, in newspaper, especially during the spring and the summer, to explain to the public the transformation of French campsite, to explain what is the camping today, and to explain also to the public power, to explain what is a campsite and what was the transformation of French campsite since 20 years. Because a lot of people in Paris didn't go in a campsite for holidays, and it's very important for our profession to explain the potential and the future of French campsite.
Mr. Dayot, thank you for this interview and have a nice show.
Monsieur Robert, bonjour.
Bonjour.
Merci d'être ici avec CampingBusiness. On va commencer avec la première question.
Oui.
Alors, cette édition du SETT a été particulièrement riche en exposants.
Absolument.
Comment cela s'est-il passé ce jour-ci et quelle réaction avez-vous eu de part du public?
Écoutez, c'est une édition encore une fois exceptionnelle. On restait sur une édition 2022 qui avait été une très très bonne édition avec plus de 17 300 je crois visiteurs, presque 700 exposants. Cette année nous sommes au-dessus de 700 exposants. On n'a pas encore le chiffre de visiteurs, mais on sait que c'est vraiment très conséquent. Pour la première fois, on utilise l'intégralité, la totalité du parc des expositions, ce qui est énorme. Et nous, vous savez, on a deux objectifs, de satisfaire nos clients et de satisfaire nos adhérents et de satisfaire les exposants. Et dans les deux cas, on a d'excellents retours parce que nos adhérents peuvent venir faire des achats, ils peuvent venir se former et rencontrer des experts, voir des ateliers, mais aussi avoir des moments conviviaux de repas. C'est ce dont on a vraiment besoin en sortant d'une saison.
Merci. SETT est plus en plus une référence européenne, regroupant les produits et services de toutes les régions du continent. Est-ce la même chose en termes de visiteurs? Combien y en a-t-il et de quel pays viennent-ils?
Alors, il y en a de plus en plus parce que vous savez, on est le plus gros salon européen en hôtellerie de plein air. Donc forcément, c'est devenu un événement incontournable pour les campings français, mais aussi les campings européens, principalement les Espagnols, les Italiens, on a quelques Anglais et de plus en plus, on prend une dimension européenne. On ressent bien que ça devient l'événement européen.
Cette année, vous avez reçu une reconnaissance importante pour la durabilité environnementale. Qu'as-tu dû faire pour l'obtenir?
Alors, il y a deux domaines. Il y a d'abord ce label environnemental, on l'a reçu sur le salon parce que tout a été fait et repensé pour avoir beaucoup plus une approche durable, notamment quelques exemples. Par exemple, il y a encore 2 ans, il y avait de la moquette partout, de la moquette qui en fin de salon on prenait, on jetait, c'est terminé, il n'y en a plus. On est directement sur du béton, on explique pourquoi et ça fonctionne très bien. On a repensé par exemple le stand dans lequel nous sommes, il est réutilisable, c'est-à-dire qu'il a une durée de vie sur plusieurs années alors qu'avant c'était des choses qu'on achetait et qu'on jetait pareil. Tout a été reconçu comme ça et on est le premier salon dans notre domaine à avoir ce label environnemental.
From le petit, tout le gros détail, il a tout changé.
Absolument, absolument. On a tout repensé, oui.
Parfait. Après le Covid, les beaux succès et les records enregistrés, quelles sont les perspectives du secteur plein air pour la prochaine saison?
Écoutez, vous savez très bien qu'on est dans un contexte compliqué, ne serait-ce parce qu'il y a en France et partout ailleurs, il y a beaucoup d'inflation, il y a un problème de pouvoir d'achat qui est problématique pour beaucoup. Il y a le contexte des guerres, tout ça fait que c'est difficile d'avoir de la lisibilité. À aujourd'hui, le marché de l'hôtellerie de plein air, en France notamment, se porte très très bien. On fait de très belles saisons. Mais on est attentif à ce qui se passe. On ne sait pas, forcément. On a très peu de visibilité. Donc, mais enfin, on sent bien que nos produits correspondent vraiment aux attentes des Français et des étrangers, particulièrement aussi par un rapport qualité-prix qui est excellent et que les autres ne peuvent pas proposer.
Quel est le poids de votre association au niveau national et quels sont les défis auxquels vous êtes confrontés dans cette région?
Alors, au niveau national, il y a plusieurs fédérations. La fédération nationale qui regroupe, qui traite les plus gros dossiers et la fédération ici régionale où nous sommes, qui est la fédération Occitanie. Sur l'Occitanie, par exemple, il y a environ 1200 campings. Dans notre fédération, nous en regroupons à peu près 900. Ceux qui ne sont pas chez nous, ce sont des campings municipaux ou des choses comme ça. Mais c'est très important pour nous d'être fédérés parce que nous avons un poids très important, notamment dans le tourisme, en hôtellerie de plein air. C'est le plus gros producteur de touristes dans l'Occitanie. Et ça nous aide évidemment, ces fédérations, pour pouvoir discuter avec les administrations, avec la région et ainsi de suite.
Merci. Notre dernière question. Que pouvons-nous attendre du Salon SETT de la prochaine année?
Alors on termine celui-là, donc on ne sait pas encore, mais on va continuer le salon du SETT, comme on l'a dit tout à l'heure, et la profession a pris un virage dans le développement durable. C'est vraiment là-dessus, on le sent encore cette année, il y a eu beaucoup plus d'entreprises qui ont proposé des projets innovants. On espère que l'année prochaine, il y en aura encore plus, c'est vraiment là-dessus qu'on voudrait aller, pour deux raisons, parce que le développement durable, d'abord, c'est dans notre ADN, c'est dans nos gènes des campings, parce que si on vit en plein air, on a besoin de nos ressources, donc on a ça dans le sang. Et deuxièmement, on est quand même aussi contraint et forcé, notamment sur deux pôles. Premièrement, la gestion des ressources en eau, parce qu'on a des territoires qui sont défaillants, et donc il faut vraiment qu'on travaille là-dessus. Et puis bien sûr, sur la gestion de l'énergie, parce que l'énergie, comme partout, coûte très très cher maintenant, c'est un poids énorme pour les établissements, et on travaille forcément aussi sur comment on réduit la consommation d'énergie dans nos campings, et ce seront certainement les deux axes pour l'année 2024 à venir.
Ok.
L'interview,
c'est terminé. Merci, Monsieur Robert, pour votre temps et votre travail.
Merci. Beaucoup.
We are here with Mr. Mercier for an interview for Camping Business. Thank you for your time, Mr. Mercier. So, first question, how does Campings.com plan to differentiate itself and enhance its value proposition for its partner accommodation providers, especially in the context of international digitalization?
I mean, we continue to improve our reach in different countries to support our partners to be able to address a specific audience. And I think that it's actually quite interesting to see that during this trade show we have very interesting discussions to see how we can continue to support our partners by providing different services à la carte to improve their performance during the next season.
Okay. You recently completed a fundraising round in addition to the acquisition of Bungalow Booker. How do you plan to use these funds?
I mean, clearly we continue to improve our service. We invest a lot in our platform to be able to give new features to our partners, as well as we continue to improve the customer experience on the platform to be able to get more bookings and improve the support to our partners.
Thank you. And with the acquisition and expansion into multiple countries, what are Campings.com's specific plans for its growth in the European outdoor accommodation sector?
I mean, we continue to clearly improve our reach in different countries. We look at the different lanes to be able to address outbound countries and give them the best offers in different destinations. So it's clearly about improving our catalog, improving our services to be able to give the best experience on the search available on our platform.
What is your perspective on the recent merger between PinCAMP, INVW and TCS in the camping sector? How do you see it impacting Campings.com position in the market?
I mean, what is interesting is clearly to see that the market is booming. And we are quite happy to see that we set up the tone. We see local champions trying to aggregate their volume to be able to compete with us. Anyway, everything is good for the market. We are pleased to see that there are different services to support the different partners, and we continue to lead on the market with some clear innovation that our partners are happily discovering during this trade show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Hello, we are here for a new episode of Conversazioni at Camping Business. Our host today is Uwe Frers, CEO from Adam Camping and PinCAMP by ADAC. And I have a few questions for you today because yesterday we had big news regarding the merger between three touring clubs in Europe, the EDC from Germany, the INWB from Netherlands and TCS from Switzerland in one single company called PinCAMP GmbH. Right? So, can you provide more details about this merger?
For sure. Well, on the 1st January on, there's a new company. This is the PinCAMP company, and the PinCAMP company has three shareholders. The first shareholder is the ADAC, the second the ANWB, and the third is the TCS. So we combine the camping entities of the three largest automobile clubs within Europe. And there is a clear strategy behind. From our point of view, there's a huge consolidation in the market actually. There are big players in the market with billions of dollars and they look for investment opportunities. And I think what they are looking for is not only the investment opportunity, but they want to rule the market. They want to lead the market. On the other hand, there is ADAC, ANWB and TCS, and well, we are acting in that market for 70 years. So there's a partnership, there's on ice level, there's service from us to the market for 70 years. And now there has been a question, we have 27 million members within this automobile mobile clubs. And now we ask ourselves, how can we provide services in the digital future as well? And the only chance to do this is not acting on a national base because we are in a platform economy. This is an international game, but working on an international base. Therefore, combining the businesses is our chance to work in the campsite industry, to support the campsite industry for the next 70 years in a digital environment.
You told in the press releases that the technology behind the WB, sorry, and the PinCAMP portals will be merged together. What will be the benefit for the campers in Germany, Netherlands and Switzerland?
Yeah, well, To produce a portal like that costs an immense effort. So therefore we have to invest a lot of technical resources to create a portal. And this portal technology we have created and tested and established over 5 years now. This portal technology is going to be used at ANWB as well. So therefore, more and more users are using the same technology, and therefore we are able, well, to adapt and to optimize this technology day by day by day. And this is an advantage for the campers on the one hand, but it's a huge advantage for the campsites as well, because we get increased conversions, we get better outcomes there, we get more and more bookings, so therefore it's a benefit on the campsite as well as for the camper.
Now we can move our focus on the campsites. With the new portal, you aim to satisfy about 30% of the market demand in Europe for a common portal. How will this impact the efficiency and the cost reduction in terms of operational efficiency, the campsite partners of your business?
Have a look at the numbers. I love numbers, as you all know. We have about 130 million overnight stays, which are going to be generated in Germany, Switzerland, and Netherlands. And those 130 million overnight stays are going to be delivered abroad. So to France, Spain, Italy, Croatia, to all the countries around. Therefore, in the future, we are able to deliver those 130 million overnight stays with one partner, and that's PinCAMP. So therefore, there's only one contract necessary. There's only one point where you deliver your pictures, your content, your availability. There's only one technology interface necessary, not different ones. So it's getting more and more easy. That's a big chance. And I think especially there's another thing, it's a great advantage for the campsites. It's not only about cost efficiency, but it's about leveraging all those customers by the off-season, because actually we can deliver people from Netherlands, which are on a vacation break. Afterwards, the school vacation is going to be to Germany, afterwards to Switzerland. So we can combine the different vacation breaks from the different countries and deliver more and more people during this season, the off-site seasonality, to the campsites.
And you are going to release soon a new version of your platform in other languages like French and Italian. How this will help you to grow your presence in Europe?
Yeah, this is an important step. Well, we got a new investment of 6.6 million euro. We need a part of this investment to create the technology for the merger, but we invest a huge part of this investment in getting abroad. So the first step after being in the market of Switzerland in 3 languages, German, Italian and French, will be after German, the Netherlands market. So therefore we will start with the Netherlands language. But in summertime we will launch a first app. It's the app of ANWB Camping. And in future it will be the app of PinCAMP as well in different languages. We start for sure with English, and later on we will roll out several languages as well. And with this rollout of the app, we will roll out further country versions. So it's a clear signal. We want to go international, and that's a benefit for the campsite for sure, because with more and more demand from the different countries, we can create more and more seasonality issues in the off-site season. So therefore, it's a great help. And this is a clear strategy and a clear strategy of this merger, not only about cost efficient, it's not about that. It's about merging the business by getting more international business in there.
And last but not least, we are talking about digital. How does PinCAMP plans to leverage the digital transformation to benefit not only the large enterprises in the campsite, in the camping sector, but also the medium and size enterprises?
I think this is the most important task of digitalization, because if you have a look to the big ones, to the well-known brands, to the chains, they are almost pretty good in digital. And I think what they do, this is a benchmark. But there are thousands of campsites in the mid. Good quality, a good relation of quality and pricing, but they are not as well known. And if you look, for example, to a German market, what we have seen in the high season, the newspapers are crowded with, well, too much campers on the street, the campsites are crowded. No, they are not. Some of them are crowded in high season, but not all. But the problem for the camper is find this available campsite. And that's what we are doing, collecting availability and delivering that availability to the camper. And at the end, the real winner are the medium campsites, the medium to small at least, to be honest, because they are regularly unknown. And if a camper finds this campsite because this campsite has availability at the needed time, that's a big chance. So therefore, it's a kind of democracy for the camping industry. Digitalization means the winner will be those ones which are in the small to medium size, because actually they are unknown, and digitalization can bring a lot of more customers.
Thanks, Uwe. Thanks for being with us. See you next time, and see you in the next episode.
Thank you so much for your interest. Thank you. Goodbye.